Hey, Geek Pantsers, guess who watched the PS5 live event? We did. We share our thoughts. How was that?
It's perfect, Chris. It's straight to the point.
Right?
It's got excitement in it, you know?
Okay, so that's that.
I love it.
Yep.
It's great.
Could you do any better, I guess, is the question.
I don't think I could. I would probably just repeat what you said.
But you don't know until you...
Try.
That's correct. That's correct.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah? Look at that. Cameo appearance. I couldn't do it alone. PS5 Reveal. Let's do it. Yeah.
Either one's good, though.
Huh?
You know what I'm going to say? Don't tell me which one you're going to pick. Just surprise me.
All right.
Because either one's good.
All right. I'm going to surprise you. It's going to be great.
Okay. All right. I wrote notes.
You wrote notes? I didn't write notes, but I wrote
extensive notes.
I wrote the titles of every game, so I have that. The PS5 reveal finally happened.
Yeah, I mean, finally, for the people that were waiting for it, I'm still kind of like, you know, I don't know if we really needed to have the PS5 so quickly, but whatever.
I mean, I didn't see any big jump in graphics. I was more impressed by that Unreal Engine demo they did a month ago.
Yeah, that one floored me. And but then, like we talked about in previous camcasts on Geek Pants Media, which is a conglomerate of everything, because I'm not going through the list just yet. That blew me away, but it was like we're still out a couple years before we'll actually get that.
Yeah, that's like 2020.
Whereas the stuff that we are going to get, right, or like even let's say like 2022. Let's just say 2022, but
yeah,
still that's a ways away.
It is.
Whereas, but okay, so fine. The PS5 is coming out this year, and there's certainly some games attached to it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what games. A lot of the games that were shown were coming 2021. So,
yeah, which
it doesn't really.
Okay, and again, it's one of those where I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, the one that floored me right out of the gates was Spiderman Miles Morales. That one floored me.
That looked amazing.
But of course it does. I don't think it's an actual sequel, for one.
No.
Because if it is, that's not the way to do it.
No, I think this is going to be like DLC or like a short little, kind of like Uncharted: The Lost Legacy after Uncharted 4. Something like that, like a short little spin-off type of deal.
Well, that's what I think. I think it's a spin-off because why else would they call it Miles Morales with no other designation? It's not Spider-Man 2, or Spider-Man PS5, it's Spider-Man Miles Morales. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a shorter game. Maybe, I don't know, 15 hours?
Yeah.
25 tops?
If that. I mean, I guess it depends on if you're going to go for 100%ing it or not, but then they gave you no info either. We know it's coming holiday 2020, but it didn't say whether it was PS4 or it said shown on PS5, but it didn't say it was a PS5 exclusive.
Exactly. That's right. So I mean, it could very well be, like you said, an extra juicy little tidbit for the PS4 guys, especially because I feel like not only does like Peter need a proper sequel.
Yeah.
I almost feel like what they'll do with this is how they used Miles. They'll use Peter the way they used Miles in the first game, where he'll show up. But I don't think you'll have a mission with Peter at all, unless it's like a training thing, because then you have Peter Parker, and he immediately will overshadow Miles Morales.
Yeah. I think maybe you'll get him in like a video or something. He won't be playable. But I think it's going to be
and
pretty
he should
cool.
be.
I mean,
I think it's going to be. I mean, the engine
gameplay-wise-
alone is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, gameplay wise, it should pretty much play the same as the first game.
Yeah, I think there'll be a couple of tweaks in terms of what Miles Morales can do versus what Peter Parker can do. But I mean, it pretty much just it sells itself. You got a weaker, less experienced Spider-Man getting tutored or mentored by the legit Spider-Man. There's a lot going for it. And the gameplay from what we saw in those quick little snippets doesn't deviate too far. I mean, there's going to be a couple of different gameplay mechanics based on how much of Miles Morales' new powers are incorporated into this character in terms of the invisibility and the Widow's Sting.
Yeah. Yeah,
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, and he doesn't really have a big rogues gallery, right? So I don't see it being a really long game. I mean, obviously, I bet, Prowler's probably the main villain in the game.
As he should be.
Yeah.
As he should be. And it'll be interesting to see how much they tie into the existing Miles Morales lore while adding to it or changing it almost, like it's really, I'm intrigued nonetheless. When I saw them open with it, I was like, no way.
It was it was pretty crazy. Like I was like, oh my God, are you serious? And then so it was awesome because it got me psyched, but then it also wasn't awesome because it was a long time throughout that hour and 15 minutes where I felt any type of excitement again. Like,
yeah, you know what? Like I said, like I took notes, and most of my notes is literally like, looks good.
Man,
I'm sure it'll play good. Like they follow Spider-Man up with Gran Turismo 7 or Gran Turismo, depending on your pronunciation.
Yeah.
And I could care less.
I've never been a Gran Turismo fan. I mean, I've never enjoyed them. It's like driving on ice. That real style driving does nothing for me in a racing game.
Yeah, so like I literally, my note says, could care less, looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm sure past fans will love this.
It looks insane. It does look gorgeous. I mean, like, no, that did.
But every single Gran Turismo game looked gorgeous for its time. I just don't really care.
Very true.
Yeah.
I was always a Ridge Racer boy, anyways.
I wasn't really much for racing outside of like Mario Kart.
Yeah, me neither, actually. Well, I mean,
yeah,
there's a lot of good ones on the 64, like, Rush, San Francisco Rush, and Cruising USA.
Yeah, San Francisco Rush I was a fan of because of the arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But
what'd you think of Ratchet and Clank Rifts Apart?
Looks insane. I mean, Ratchet and Clank has always been, as far as I'm concerned, the best looking platform out there. Like, as far as platformer games go, they look like Pixar quality almost always, and they continuously get better. The one on the PS4 was gorgeous, and this just looked insane. It looked, I mean, it looks like Ratchet and Clank, though. If Ratchet and Clank isn't your thing, you're not going to like this. I mean,
yeah. So, like, my first thoughts were, it looks really cool. Yeah. The gameplay tweaks look really cool. I'm actually tempted now to replay them just because this looks that good that I'm like, maybe I should get caught up on this series because I've never touched one. I've never even played a demo.
I almost thought it was going to be a Clank game for a second when they got split up and then just started focusing on Clank. I was like, oh, Clank's in a solo game.
So did I, and I was like, the last thing that did that was like PS Vita, I think.
Yeah, one of the yeah, Vita and PSP, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but then that last second female Ratchet showed up, and I was like, "What? That's crazy."
Mm-hmm.
Although I gotta say, though, the gameplay in it reminds me of Jak 2.
Well, Jak 2 kind of got the gameplay from Ratchet.
Well, yeah, no, it wouldn't. It would have had to, yeah.
Because
they were already a
Ratchet and Clank launched the same year as Jak and Daxter, the precursor legacy.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So.
And it was always run and gun, though, right?
It was always run and gun from the start. Ratchet, yeah.
And if I remember correctly, isn't it the same studio that did the first few Spyros?
Yep, they did Spyros. They did all the Resistance games, and they did Spider-Man. So they're a busy
I know they
studio
did Spider-Man.
because we're like,
That's
you know,
right.
we're 3 games in and already they're doing 2 of them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Um, most of the other stuff was like so Project Athia or Athia.
I thought
It
that looked
looks
really good.
amazing.
It looked really good.
It
I
looked
mean,
amazing.
it looks like it's a far way off though. Wasn't that 2022? Is that what that
I
was
can't
that?
remember the year for that one, but I remember thinking to myself that there's no way that that's coming out anytime soon because
Yeah, because
the graphics were enough that I was like, holy shit, as opposed to like it looks good, but it
yeah. No,
I mean,
I was like, "Oh, I'm in for this," but Square Enix, so Square Enix
yeah.
usually shows off their stuff like 4 or 5 years out. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
so
So, needless to say, like I said, literally looks amazing. My next one is so far I am in.
yeah, yeah,
So,
I
so barring anything unforeseen, I'm gonna play that game for sure.
yeah, same here.
Stray looks interesting,
Ah, I don't like
but
the
that's it.
like back in the old days with the old PlayStations and Nintendos, everything we had what we called shovelware, which was just like games thrown together to sell games on the system. I don't like to use that term anymore
Ah,
because
okay.
I think shovelware is kind of dead now. Now it's more replaced with like small indie type of games. Um, Stray was the first one in this giant list of small indie type games. It did nothing for me.
No, like some of the other stuff, I was like, oh, it looks intriguing or whatever. But this one, I was like it looks nice, but it's just like, oh, okay.
It
I
didn't
feel
show gameplay. It tells you nothing about the story. So
it kind of I got like Journey vibes from it in the sense that like I played Journey for like 4 or 5 hours,
mhm.
and I know I went to like different locations,
Yeah.
but in terms of anything meaningful or impacting, no.
Yeah, I think
Like I
Stray yeah, that's likely gonna be like a $25 digital only type of 4 or 5 hour game.
yeah, like I mean, I'm sure like for the people that love Journey, great, good. I'm happy for you, but for me, I was just like bored out of my skull.
Yeah.
And I feel like Stray is one of those ones where regardless of how good it looks, because it looks really nice and it looks interesting in the sense that it's all robots or cyborgs or whatever. But I feel like eventually I'm just gonna be like, I don't care to beat this.
Yeah. So, next up, Returnal, which looked really cool. And what really surprised me is it's made by House Marquee that doesn't usually do third person action games like that. They showed a couple shots in the trailer where it was like an up view and she was small, like running. I was like, okay, there's the game because that's what House Marquee does, Super Stardust, Dead Nation, all those type of games. So when it went like
Okay,
third
okay.
person shooter style, I was just like, holy shit, they're going like big on this game.
Well, there's a huge budget into this game because this looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like it looked absolutely gorgeous. I really loved the Groundhog Day concept
Hmm.
where I thought like that's an interesting way of incorporating how often you're going to die playing this game
Yeah.
into the overall story.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the part where she starts talking about how the planet is changing her, I was like, and like sometimes it changes when she wakes up again. I'm like, Jesus, like this one was the game where I was just like, holy shit, like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
However, the only snag was when I immediately saw a third person shooter. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. I guess I expected something like a little bit more different in terms of how you would play the game
Hmm.
instead of just shoot, loot, search, that kind of thing. But I guess there's only so many things you could do in a game. But
Yeah. The whole third person, it has kind of like a Gears of War type look to it. Um,
not that I'm knocking that. And obviously, like this is on the list of games I'm going to play. So I'm like,
yeah.
unless I hear the gameplay is just horrible, then I'm playing it. So I'm not like, and I'm not anti third person shooter by any means. It just was one of it. I don't know why. It was just I saw it and I went, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I've always loved third person shooters, but the last couple of years I've been kind of slowly getting, I don't know, tired of them. Maybe I'm kind of like burnt out or just maturing into like enjoying different genres, but like chill, different type of indie games are usually where it's at for me now. Like I was kind of hoping we would see something from Play Dead, the guys that made Inside and Limbo. Love those games.
Yeah, I haven't played either of those games, but those are on my list of games I got to play.
Inside is a masterpiece. It was my favorite game that year.
It looked gorgeous. It looked absolutely gorgeous. So, but yeah, so literally, Returnal looks amazing, sounds amazing, concept is very cool. That's
Yeah,
it. That's all.
yeah, that's it. Next up,
Sackboy's Big Adventure.
Sackboy. I was kind of psyched.
I
I was like, "Oh my god, Sack!" Like Little Big Plan's always kind of been Sackboy's game, but it's always had this whole like create your own level type of thing to it. Like it was never just a plain up like adventure game. This has like a real Nintendo feel.
right. Yeah, it looked hella fun. Like my notes are, I'm sure fans of the series will love it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it looked like a lot of fun. But it also looked like the only game on this list that was a multiplayer, and it
yeah,
almost encouraged multiplayer,
yeah.
which I thought was really really cool. Plus, it just looked great. Not that like
Yeah.
all the games looked great, like all the Big Planet games looked amazing, but this just looked great.
I've always had the Little Big Planet games because Adrian and I love to do couch co-op, and there's so little couch co-op games out there these days. So like Little Big Planet,
Mm,
we're always into it. Like so, Sackboy, chances are I will
yeah,
buy that because it'll be a game for us to play together.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Destruction AllStars. That looks kind of neat. That looks actually. It had that arcadey like smash shit burnout look to it. But then it started having like
Um,
people out of the cars and running around jumping off walls and shit. I was like, whoa,
or jumping on other cars.
yeah, and blowing them up. And I was like, whoa.
Or doing tricks without the cars. I was like, what is happening? Like I got massive tricky vibes from watching that.
Same. It looked like
Yeah.
SSX with cars.
I literally would like within once I realized that it was like a car derby thing, I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So this was like, yeah, I mean it looks and it looks great too. Like it looked really good. It looks like it's a lot of fun, but it
Yeah.
also looks like it could have it looks like it's going to be kind of in that sort of tricky sort of what's that car soccer game that's out?
Oh, Rocket League Rocket League.
Yeah, Rocket League. It looks like the kind of game where like you could have a lot of fun and not necessarily be really good at it, but if you end up getting really skilled at it, then it's going to be even better for you.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I got from that. And then of course, I mean anything that mines tricky vibes, well, sign me up.
Yeah, no, that looked cool. That looked like the type of game where you could just like throw it on for a half hour and just goof around and then go off
And then realize you played for 3 hours.
I'll play this for a half hour and then I'll go to bed. Oh fuck, it's 1. I got to work at 7.
And you're like, oh, well, I'm not gonna get any sleep, so I might as well keep playing.
Go all night. Kena Bridge of Spirits. This is by far outside of Spider-Man my favorite game. Yo, it looked beautiful. It looked fun. It had that adventure like frick, what's that old game that I used to love? Beyond Good and Evil. It had like a Beyond Good and Evil look to it almost.
You know what's the funniest part is that within the first couple of seconds of that trailer, I was like, oh, is this Beyond Good and Evil 2? Is this
I know.
seriously Beyond Good and Evil 2? And then it wasn't, and I was like, oh, because we're never going to see Beyond Good and Evil 2. Just so we're clear, we're never seeing it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many trailers they show. The game still isn't out. I mean,
it's never coming out.
The first game I had on the GameCube. So how many years ago was that? Almost 20?
I had it on PS2. That's right. I had it on PS2. And I never thought to check and see if they did any remakes, but I think they have it on a PS3.
Yes, there is an HD version on PS3.
Yeah, yeah. But needless to say, that's one of those games where I wish they would re-release it like on a PS4, just so that I could replay it and then decide if it was really as awesome as I remember it to be. Because I loved that game, even though the last boss was incredibly hard
The whole last
with the
area was.
inverted controls. Oh yeah, I beat that game. I was like, there's no way I'm not beating this game. I beat it, and I'm proud to say I beat it. But I mean, even like if they did like a Final Fantasy VII type remake of Beyond Good and Evil, I'd be okay with that. But only if they did like an ending instead of this is the beginning of a franchise that you'll never see even the second one of. But anyway, getting back to Kena, or is it Kena? I'm not sure how it's pronounced.
I don't know. I just say Kena. It's probably Kena. I don't know.
Kena. Anyway, looks gorgeous. Looks absolutely gorgeous. The story was intriguing. Like it brought me in right away when like I get the sense that the guy that was talking is actually the bad guy. And he's basically saying, no, no, no. You think you can help, but you're not going to have anything to do with this. Gameplay looks really cool. Like it looks like your standard platformer puzzle solver. But that's the part that I thought was cool, where you had I had small Ewoks for puzzle solving. I thought that was kind of neat.
That was really cool.
Huge Okami vibes with this game.
Yes. I thought the same thing. Definitely Okami.
The second that you start seeing like the dark forest become lush again, I was like, oh,
yeah,
oh, that's probably one of my most satisfying things when you play Okami. Like it's constantly rewarding you for even the smallest little thing, and it's just making the earth beautiful again. Oh, sorry, make Earth great again. Christopher.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Like I saw that and I was like, this is my type of game. This is a game that I would definitely buy.
Yeah, exactly.
Next game.
Now, did this happen to you? Goodbye Volcano High. Did your video skip on you?
No, well, no, it did Goodbye Volcano High, that animated looking thing.
Yeah, mine. I got 4 or 5. I got just enough to see Goodbye Volcano High, and then immediately went to Oddworld.
Oh yeah, no, I saw the whole thing. And it really wasn't much. It was showed no gameplay.
What was the gameplay like?
It didn't show gameplay. It was it did nothing for me.
Nope, me neither. I was definitely like, eh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, eh. And then Oddworld.
But anyway, Oddworld Soulstorm.
I can't believe they're still making Oddworld games, and they look the same.
Well, the only thing I can say though is it does look gorgeous. Like, yeah, they look the same, but they look better and better as they go.
Absolutely.
It looks crazy intense though, like crazy intense. But I never played any of the Oddworlds, any of the Abe games, nothing like that. I have no real desire. So my final note on that is, I'm sure fans will love it.
Yeah, and I mean, if it gets good ratings and sells well, awesome. I probably won't play it.
I don't think I'm going to check it out at all.
Yeah,
and that was one of those games where I knew right away, like as a kid, when I seen the trailers for it or any video gameplay, I was like, this is not for me.
No.
So I wasn't even going to bother trying. It's not like Undertale where I tried that and realized it's not for me.
Yeah. Now we get this the streak of like 3 like just
I gave
very generic looking games. Ghostwire Tokyo.
I thought Ghostwire Tokyo. I thought it looked all right. Like it hauntingly atmospheric for me.
Yeah, I mean, it looked okay, but
other than that,
like I'm expecting like it's PS5. I'm expecting like some pretty damn good looking games, right? Like I almost got like I could imagine that on the PS3.
No, yeah, I agree.
Wow, that froze for a minute, but you were like in the greatest pose while it froze. It was good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Nice. That's nice. You're in the same pose right now.
Oh, yeah. Jet the Far Shore.
It reminded me a lot of No Man's Sky, where I was just kind of like, it looks interesting, but I need more.
The music was great. I'll
You know?
give it that. I like the soundtrack.
Okay. All right. Appearing in a looked pretty good. Just didn't look anything different though. Like I literally was like, oh, this kind of looks like God of War in terms of the game.
Yeah. Well, we talked about the one right before Hitman 3.
Appearing awaits.
Okay. And then there was Godfall, right?
Godfall? Oh, I must have missed that one. I got Solar Ash.
Oh, okay. I think Appearing Awaits is Godfall, I think.
Okay. That makes
Yeah. Which would also
that
explain
makes
why you
sense.
think it looks like God of War, because it's Godfall.
Yeah, well, although I will say I like that it was very colorful. Like their color palette is really interesting.
Yes, it was very pretty.
Mm-hmm,
All right.
mm-hmm.
So,
But yes, of course, now we're getting to Hitman 3.
yes, Hitman 3, that was a surprise. It looks gorgeous.
I'm disappointed that it's not on PS4, but that's fine. I haven't even played the second one all the way through yet, so
Yeah.
got to get my Hitman skills up.
It looks really cool.
But it looked amazing in that
climbing the outside of the building and everything.
That looked so cool. And then like you're in this high altitude place in was it Saudi Arabia?
I think so, yeah.
Regardless, I can't wait. I can't wait to play it, even though I haven't beaten the second one yet. But that one's coming up soon.
Yeah.
Why did that surprise you?
What's that?
Like, why did Hitman 3 surprise you? Just the fact that it was on this video, or just in general?
No, I mean, I wasn't expecting Hitman 3. And the trailer started and it didn't look like Hitman. But I was like, wow, this is looking really good. And then when they revealed it was Hitman and it's Agent 47, I was like, oh, I bet you Chris is losing his shit right now.
Well, the second that they showed the trailer, the second it started, I went, oh, that's Hitman 3. And then I saw the I.O. right away and I was like, oh, that's Hitman 3. And then I was like, yeah. I was super pumped about that.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Like, flat out, I was like, oh, this is great. Astro's Playroom?
Yeah. I mean, okay. Astro is a character on PlayStation VR on the PS4. It's a very fun game. It's a very fun game. I will say this looks like another couch co-op game.
Okay.
That I like.
Which is great for the people that are into it, and that's fine. But for me, I was like, that's it for me.
Wow.
Yep, just yeah. Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Little Devil
Inside.
Nah. Yeah.
I actually think that looks very cool.
Oh.
I love the style. I think the gameplay looks really cool. It looks like it's got an engaging and enthralling story. I'm in. It's on my list.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
NBA 2K21 looks like more of the same. Yep. Just slightly better looking.
Except now the sweat looks more real than ever.
Which is what you need in a video game.
Yep. Just sweaty men.
Yep. And cruising right along, we get to Bugsnax.
Game of the night.
Which takes us right to Demon Souls.
That's the stepping stone into Demon Souls. Little cute strawberries that you eat. Demon Souls.
The bug is that you eat and then change your body. I literally wrote, I was not feeling this one, but who knows? It may be fun.
But I'll never know because I'll never play it.
Actually, that's not true. Like, if all of a sudden you start playing it and you say, Chris, like, you really got to play this, I think you'd really love it. I would say, okay, I will try it. I will try it out.
I will play it when it's a freebie on PlayStation Plus. Which will probably.
And I will wait to hear if it's good or not.
But Demon Souls.
Yeah, I don't think.
The Souls games have never been my favorite, but wow, it looks gorgeous.
Me neither.
This is
yeah, that's one of those things that I always like.
Blue Point that does all their like remastered games like Shadow.
Okay.
It's been rumored what they've been working on for a while now. Yeah. Will was thinking it was Demon Souls, so he got it right. He got it right. I was kind of hoping it was going to be Silent Hill. I was hoping those Silent.
Good job, Wilton Have.
I was really hoping the Silent Hill rumors were true, but nevertheless, it looks insane.
Well, you guys actually messed me up with that because when you started talking about Silent Hill rumors, when we saw later trailers of a later game, I was like, oh, okay, so this is Silent Hill. Okay. Thankfully, I was wrong.
Yeah.
But to echo your phrasing, Demon Souls or the Souls games, Soulsborne, whatever you want to call them. I never, ever really got into them. This looked absolutely epic, though. Looked beautiful, looked intense. But I think the only one I'll check out is probably Sekiro. But I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah. Deathloop.
What'd you think of Deathloop?
Did nothing for me. This was actually the game where I think I actually a message on our group messaging there, and I was like, this is such a like lackluster show. Like I'm so underwhelmed. And it was Deathloop where I was just like, I feel like I played a game like that on the PS3 called Wet, where it had like that grindhouse look to it. It was like all grindhousey like.
Oh yeah.
And I was getting that vibe from this. I was getting that vibe from it. And again, it didn't stand out to me as like a next gen game. It looked like something from like the first couple years of the PS4, if anything. And I was just, nope.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I think there was maybe only 3 games that I thought was definitely next gen. Everything else was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Literally the only quote I have for Deathloop is, I wonder how broken the game is when it ships.
Oh, that's great.
Bethesda's got a track record.
As for games that actually look next gen, this next one looks insane. So insane. Resident Evil.
I have 2 quotes.
Village.
Also, the way they did the Village to tie in with the V111, I was like, oh, that is bitching. And I saw that a couple months back in a quick blurb, and I forgot all about it. And I'm glad I did, because then when it happened, I was like, oh, yeah. Because the whole time I'm like, at first I was like, oh, this is New Silent Hill. And then the second it shifted, I was like, no, this is Resident Evil. This looks crazy.
It looks so different, though. Like number 7 looked a lot different from the rest of the series, but this, it looks so good. Like I'm in for number 8.
This actually kind of looks almost like they took a lot of that first person atmosphere building that they did in 7 and then smashed their remake of Resident Evil 1 into this, or Resident Evil 2, sorry, and into this, and kind of, it almost looked like they were trying to combine both. So I almost feel like there's going to be 2 ways to play the game, where you can play it first person or third person. But I don't know.
Yeah,
it looked crazy intense though. I'm in, and I'm so in that I want to play Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 2 and 3 just so that I'm up to speed.
Well, I do think Resident Evil 7's on sale right now for like $15. Just throwing that out there for anyone who wants to try to.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, all right. But I still gotta get through Hollow Knight.
Yes, I know.
I still gotta get through Hitman 2.
Good for
Did I
you.
tell you I started Undertale and then I stopped it after about 4 hours?
Yep.
Oh, that is boring. That was a boring game.
I've been cleaning up my backlog nice over the last couple of weeks. Like all my short little 4 to 5 hour digital games that I got on there, I've been either flying through them if I'm enjoying them, or I put like an hour in and I'm like, nah, and then off the system. Gone.
Yeah, so that's what I've like with Undertale. After I think it was about 2 hours. After about the second hour, where like when you play a game and you're like, yeah. Even like Hollow Knight, for instance, it was a challenging game, but I was like, I don't know, like I just want to keep playing it. And every new section, you were like, oh, okay, all right. Whereas this one, it was literally like, and I mean, again, like if you're into Undertale, great. If you're not, great. Like it's just it did nothing for me.
So yeah, Resident Evil 8.
Next up.
Yeah.
Pragmata. Yeah, that's
Pragmata?
Pragmata. I think it's pronounced Pragmata.
Pragmata.
Or is it Pragmata?
Oh, yes, Pragmata. Yes.
Pragmata.
This is a very good looking game.
Honestly, I definitely was like, is this Death Stranding 2? Because I don't know what the fuck's going on. It looks great. No idea.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, it's not as out there as Kojima, but it wouldn't surprise me if they were like, from the brilliant mind that brought you Metal Gear Solid 1 through 5, and also Death Stranding. Comes Pragmata.
Yeah, it's weird they saved this one. Like, I kind of feel bad for Pragmata and Deathloop because, like, they really just sandwiched those between the big guns of the show.
Yeah, and like at least Pragmata looks like interesting, and it looks really good. Like in terms of visuals, it looks really cool.
Yes.
But I'm with you with Deathloop. Deathloop was like, okay, all right. It's another first-person shooter from an established company that hasn't really had a huge hit in a while. Sure. And I feel like they're going to do a little bit more of a style over substance with Deathloop.
Yeah.
Which is shitty to say, but whatever. I mean, they made their millions, right?
Yep. And then the show wraps with well, not quite, because then we get the reveal, but it wraps with Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to Zero Dawn. Now, when they started showing the scenery and everything, I was like, this looks gorgeous. And then they went closer up and you can kind of see like a little bit of like a robotic look to some of the islands and shit. And I was like, oh, this is Horizon. It's gonna be Horizon.
Yeah, it was funny watching this and then getting the hits. Some of the hits I would read like on our group chat. Yeah. Some of them I was like, I don't want to read because like you guys are heavier into video games than I am.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, not that much heavier. Just enough that I'm like, okay. So then when I saw the Horizon Dawn, I was like, oh. And that's one of those games I gotta play. I have to play Horizon Dawn because it looked awesome. It looked absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that I actually think I'm gonna, and not to just throw out about sales on the PlayStation Store again, but the complete edition of number one's on sale for like $14.99 right now. So I think I'm actually gonna grab that. Yeah, with all the DLC.
I think I might have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a no-brainer.
But wow. I think this sequel looks way better than the first one. Like the trailers for the first one.
And the first one looked amazing.
It looked amazing, but I was just like, I didn't really get super excited for it. This, I think it's because of like the water aspect and more of the adventuring and everything. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it definitely looks really cool. Like, I mean, the only reason why I want to play Horizon Dawn now is because of how awesome Horizon Dawn 2 looks. So it's kind of like that. It's like Snake Eater. When I saw how awesome Snake Eater was, I was like, well, I better play the first two.
Yep.
So that's where I'm at there. Now, I had a couple of notes about the PS5 itself. Where are we here? Okay.
It's been what, an hour and a half since the show ended, and the memes online are just blowing up.
So originally, when they had that first little blurb about the PS5, and they said 4K UHD Blu-ray, was it solid state drive or whatever? I don't know.
Yeah, fancy terms
I
care about.
I was like, okay, all right, or yeah, solid state disk drive. That's what it is. I was just like, oh, this is actually really cool that they're going to do the Blu-ray aspect. I'm still not sold on the controller, even though the functionality sounds really, really cool. It's the visual, and I'm not sure how it's going to work in my hands. That's one of those things.
Yeah,
I'm glad they went to USB-C, though.
It looks bulkier than the PS4 controller, which for someone with smaller hands like you is probably going to be pretty annoying, I would think.
Yeah, it depends. Like, I mean, because like the N64 controller was bulky, but I had no issues with that one. Although I preferred the PS controller, and the original Xbox 360 controller was a beast.
Oh man,
the Dreamcast controller.
Yeah,
Dreamcast was another one that had like a beastie controller, but I don't. The boomerang aspect is the thing that throws me the most, but we'll see. Ooh, 1 second. I did that lean so you could hear it.
That sounded like that was cool. That was cool.
It hurts. It hurts.
It hurts.
The other part that so before I get into the big part is I actually like the idea of releasing two consoles. I know it might be one of those in retrospects, it was a dumb idea, but right now I'm like, that's actually a good idea because for the people that want the disc drive with the 4K Blu-ray player, there you go. You have it. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the people, and then I'm assuming that's how they'll do the backwards compatibility as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you got physical PS4 games, you won't be able to play them on a digital-only PS5. So,
right. You have to wait for a re-release and then rebuy it
or rebuy it digitally. Yeah.
So either way, not thrilling.
Yeah.
But I think that I was very surprised by, and I'm actually more pumped about that aspect because again, like you, I'm a physical copy movie guy. I made the digital leap fairly easily from video games, but movies, I'm still like, yeah, but I want to be able to rip it open, and I want the super awesome slide cover that gets ripped almost immediately, but I want all of that, and also, like, if you have older PS4 games that are actual physical copies, you could play them.
Yeah.
It's disappointing you can't also do that for PS3 and PS2. Oh, whatever.
I know. I mean,
although that to me makes no sense that they can do one, but they can't do 3 or 2, or even 1. Like, you can't do any of them.
It's something to do with the PS3. Like it had a different drive or something, and I don't know what it is. All I know is that the Xbox Series X is coming out, and you can play Xbox 360, and Xbox One games on it. You could play every generation. So why can't PlayStation do the same?
You know what it was? I think it was because PlayStation intentionally made PS3 games different so that you couldn't have that backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
So then later, when PS4 hit and people were like, what about backwards compatibility? And they were like, no, you can't do that. Oh, you have PS Now? And they were like, that's stupid. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, and then
because it is stupid. It's just really, really stupid.
Yeah, they started re-releasing PS3 and PS2 games digitally on the PS4 for people to rebuy them.
Right, and that's the other part to it. It's like, okay, so they did that, but like, so why can't we have a system where, I take a picture of the game I purchased, send it to you, and you know that I purchased the game, and now I get free copy of the digital copy. Like it's, and then like you said, for Xbox, every single disc that Xbox released can be played on the new system. Like, what the fuck, guys? Really? Could you imagine being able to crack open one of your oldest PlayStation games, one of your most favorites, like, Metal Gear Solid, the first Metal Gear Solid. You take that disc, you put it in, you play it, and that's amazing.
How great would it be just to like play the entire Metal Gear series on one console? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's so crazy.
So
the concept alone is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mentioned the double PS5. I feel the price points you mentioned were pretty much spot on. I feel like, $6 for the disc drive, $5 for the digital version.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much of a price difference it's going to make. It might only be $50, and I'm trying to think. Like, first,
I think keep it nice and round, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, what's it going to cost in the U.S.? Because whatever it is in the U.S., it's going to probably be 150 to 200 more in Canada, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm thinking probably like $4.99, $3.99 in the U.S., probably $5.99, $4.99 in Canada.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking too. Like, I don't think they're going to do like a $50 jump, especially because, like I said, like a cheap but decent 4K Blu-ray player is about $100, 150, something like that.
So there you go.
It's like,
that's your price difference,
right? So, and then you have that plus the backwards compatibility. Now, it's still kind of bothers me that the backwards compatibility is only PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3. Is that it?
Just PS4.
Or is it just PlayStation 4?
Just PS4.
Oh my god. That's like, okay, it's better than nothing. I'll say that. It's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing, but now here's the thing. But the PS3, when it was launched, had the backwards compatibility to play PS2 games. And then they removed that fucking...
And I loved it.
They removed it because they were like, oh, it'll be cheaper if you can't play PS2 games. So we removed it. So who's to say they won't do the same thing with the PS5 and go, you know what? We're tired of PS4 after a year and a half. We're removing it from the system.
Well, they probably will. Then when they send out their new sleek version.
Yeah.
Because like my PS3, remember I got that just before they re-released the sleeker version. So I got the backwards compatibility and I was super pumped about that. Like I was really pumped about that. But it's just, and again, like, so Xbox, you can play every single one. But PS4 is just like, for now, you can have the ability to play PS4 games. For now. But,
I don't know. I just...
the console design. Let's get to the console design.
The console...
I literally wrote down it's weird. Go on.
It's fucking hideous to me. I'm sorry. I had my buddy Rick go, oh, come on, man. It's not that bad. Hideous is a little harsh. I'm like, dude, straight up, like, you can make a game or a console look futuristic and sleek without making it go like this and have fucking like plastic things shooting off the sides of it. Like what my brother, he sent us that meme where it looked like a guy with the color popped. Like,
that was instant. That was an instant meme. Like I couldn't believe how quickly that flew out. But my literal quote is, console design is weird as fuck. Followed by a question.
Yeah.
Can it be laid on its side? Because I don't have...
it can be laid on its side, except due to the weird wavy sides of it, it's going to have like a big gap in the middle when laid on the side. Not to mention you're going to have the two plastic white things sticking out that do nothing. They're just there for looks, taking up room on your shelf.
That's less of a hassle for me as opposed to having to have it upright, because like all my systems are like on their side.
Yeah.
So I've never had them upright ever. Like I when Will was just like, I don't care what it looks like, I can put it behind the TV, and it's like, yeah, you're right, you can do that. I don't have that capability, so I'm like, Knowing that it can be put on its side and it's going to have a little bit of a gap, not a big deal. Not a big deal.
I guess like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X are so powerful that they have to be big now, like a computer tower. That's why they're so large now, and why they're showing them standing up.
And that's fine. Like that's okay too. I guess it's weird because like, so PS1 to PS2, there was a clear step up in terms of the design aesthetic.
Yes.
PS2 to PS3, I'm not the biggest fan of the bulbous design that they did with it, but it still looked cool. It still looked like a game system.
The original PS3 when it came out, it looked sharp. That piano black finish with like the chrome on the front, like it was pretty freaking sexy.
The colors, of course, it was just the shape of it that I wasn't really feeling.
Yeah,
but I guess what I like is that in two hands you can hold it and it's still like it's a console, or you can one hand it if you had to.
Yeah.
And it felt like you could kill a man with it. there was some weight to that thing. And the PS4, I remember when I saw the designs for the PS4 and I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. But then when I seen it at your place and when I eventually got one, I was like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's actually fine. Like this is great.
I love how simple it is. It's small. It's just a regular shape. It's it's a console. Tight in.
Yep. But yeah, the design aesthetic for this one, never mind the colors. Like I guarantee you'll have an option to get different colors at some point. At least I hope. Because I don't know why we can't just stick to straight black. Like there's nothing wrong with that.
I think that's another thing. Like the white is hideous. That's ugly to me. The white. If it was all black, I think I would be a lot more lenient on the design of it.
It's the white. My problem with the white isn't so much that it looks hideous, because I do think the color scheme looks slick. My problem is 6 months down the road or 8 months down the road, when now your beautiful slick white controller is dingy.
Yeah.
And it's no longer white, right? Like it's yellowed or it's Cheetoed or it's like whatever. You know what I mean? Like I almost feel like they're making it so that you have to wear gloves to play this system and then like put it back in the box, keep it pristine. Whereas like the only issue I have with the PlayStation 4 is it's the worst dust magnet of all the systems that I've had in my entire life. That's the one that like almost literally says, you just dusted, you turn away, we're dusty again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just down to like the material they use. But other than that, I mean, it's like you said, it's a simple but elegant console. And it's so weird to talk about these consoles like the way they look is a factor. But could you imagine, you got the PS5 right away out of the gates. You said, I want it. I paid $500 for it. And then 4 months, 6 months, even a year later, you're looking at it and you're like, it almost looks kind of gray in some areas. Like the blue is a very nice choice. That's a vibrant blue and it pops off that white. It also makes the white pop. It's just long term, I'm like, it's gonna look dingy. Like,
yeah.
And when's the last time you had a pair of white socks last the entire 6 years, the same brightness, without bleaching them?
Yeah, never. I don't know, like talking about dust, like I'm thinking, okay, if I lay that down and it's got that big plastic lip there that does nothing, that's just going to be a big pile of dust. Like it's just going to be a big dust collector.
Yeah, but that'll be a price I have to pay because I'm not standing that thing up, especially because my dog will probably knock it over just by walking by it. The thing is a tank.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, all in all, and I mean, I was kind of like knowing that I was going to not like the way the console looked because I don't like the way the controller looks. Generally, the controller design goes a lot with the console design. So
I saw one screenshot of the console, but I saw it on its side. But I didn't really look at it because they didn't give you that rotating camera, so I didn't get to see the popped collar
yeah,
bullshit. But this is one of those things where I'm like, okay, great, they're releasing it this year, but they could have pushed it another year. It's like I said in the chat. I feel like they just did it just to get it out there before Xbox's system is out.
yeah.
And didn't Xbox do that with the
Xbox
one
did
of
that
their?
they did that with the 360. They beat the PS3,
Yeah,
the PS3 out of the gate, and then but then the PS3 didn't sell well. I mean, 360 was the king that generation, so I don't know. PS4 and the Xbox One, they came out at the same time. PS4 was the top seller, so I feel like they have to come
yeah.
out.
I don't know.
They
I
have to
feel
come
like
out in the same season.
yeah. I agree. I mean, I guarantee you, Sony's looking at it like, yeah, we have all this time to accumulate. But another reason why I'm saying maybe hold off until next year is also because of the fucking state of the world we're in. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like, it seems weird to have a 600 to 700, even if it's a $400 system. Let's leave it at $400, right? A
Yeah,
$400 system plus, let's say on average the games are going to be probably about 80 to 100. Let's just leave it at 80. Okay,
80
not
bucks.
much more than they are now.
If you want a second controller, there's
So
another 80 bucks.
yeah, so you're almost at six. You know, at how many people don't have a fucking job though, or how
Yeah.
many people are on like furloughed wages or cut wages or whatever. Like, I mean, not everyone has been lucky enough to keep their job through all of this. And I mean, Canada has fared better than the States, but the States is in utter shambles right now.
Mm-hmm.
Utter fucking shambles. And the head execs at Sony were like, we're gonna get a head start on Xbox, but it's like, I don't think this is going to be a smash success. Hopefully the world gets so good in the next couple of months that when the PS5 is released, it can see a boom. But I mean, never mind the games that we saw. I think, what did I say? 3 or 4 were games that were on my list to play.
Yeah.
Maybe 5, maybe. Um,
Yeah, I got
but
about
those
5.
are also. I'm also the kind of guy that can wait. I can wait, but I can wait 2-3 years. Don't need it like that, right?
No.
And I think a lot of people are looking at money now like, I can wait. I don't need this right away. So I don't know. I mean, I understand they want to get it out there before Xbox. I just don't think it was the right move.
I mean, yeah, they're coming out this season regardless, but I don't see them selling well this season. And I don't see them selling well because of, like you said, the situation with everything going on. But also, so far, the launch lineups are pretty bad. I mean, also the launch lineups are going to be probably also released on the other systems. Like, I guarantee you, whatever game comes out on the PS5 at launch, like almost all of them will also be available on the PS4. Like, I know
Yeah, I really only like.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla is coming out on all systems, like PS4, PS5, and then both Xboxes.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
outside of
I actually
Spiderman,
would be surprised if Hitman 3 wasn't.
yeah, if it's a launch game though, like I don't even know if that'll be a launch game. Like, I don't get a feeling out of all these today. I didn't
That's
get
yeah.
maybe like Little Devil Inside and Bug Snacks, maybe Demon Souls, like those might be launch games. Horizon, Resident Evil, all that's not coming out till 2021, 2022. Spider-Man,
That's right. So
so I don't think any of these are really going to
well,
be
Spider-Man is holiday. That was holiday 2020.
holiday 2020. But again, I still think that's going to be available on the PS4.
I agree, and I'll be surprised if it isn't, especially because, like we were talking about at the very beginning of this amazing Camcast,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is a full-fledged game.
No, it's
I'd
just
be amazed if it was.
It's just a little taste to keep you satisfied until the proper sequel comes along.
That's right. That's right. And also give you an idea that maybe what we'll get is 2 games in Spider-Man PS5.
Yeah,
Possibly.
possibly.
You know, or you'll get more Miles-centric DLC or something to that degree.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Miles Morales game doesn't do well at all, and they're just like, we'll take a back seat here.
I mean, it almost seems kind of funny that Sony didn't wait to release Miles Morales to tie it in to Enter the Spider-Verse 2 or Into the Spider-Verse, right? Because I mean, they're both.
I would have bought that hands down.
I would release a Miles Morales game with the movie.
So would I. I would have bought it immediately. I would have been like, "Yep, done."
So maybe they're planning Spider-Man 2 and Miles is going to have a big part in that story, and they want to just do this little prequel thing, so you get accustomed to.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it might be one of those where you'll still get maybe some MJ stealth stuff, but you won't get Miles stealth stuff. You'll get Miles-centric Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. Because again, like I said earlier, sorry?
I think this is going to be a spin-off, like prequel type of deal. And I wouldn't be surprised if the actual sequel is called Spider-Men, based off of the Bendis series with both Spider-Men.
Ooh, I would not like that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't like that at all.
I would not be surprised.
Even though the series was good, I hated that title. I would not be happy. I can barely say a sentence right now. I'm so unhappy with that thought.
Would it be a Camcast without making you miserable at the end of it?
No, it would be. It would be. It's just every once in a while. But this is not like you're not intentionally doing it.
No.
Not like the other one where you intentionally did it. Hey, who knows? Maybe what Insomniac did was they hired Neil Druckmann to write the new Spider-Man game, and that's why it's taken so long.
Ooh, yeah, maybe
somebody's got to transition.
You're gonna play as Miles, and then he'll like become the villain halfway through, and then you'll play as Prowler the rest of the time.
But you forgot the part where Miles has to transition.
Yeah.
He's got to transition from
Prowler would be the transition.
Ooh, okay. All right. But
right?
Then you have to
because Miles.
But then he's the bad guy.
Miles accidentally killed some random guy walking down the street in the first game, and Prowler's out for vengeance.
That's right. Yeah. They're really trying hard to make people excited about Last of Us 2.
It's outselling Spider-Man in Europe. It's still going to sell like crazy, and it's going to get tens across the board because people love Neil Druckmann.
I don't know about that. Like the gameplay does sound really cool, though.
Gameplay will be cool, but you know what? I can't enjoy gameplay without a good story. So
I know, and I'm like waiting for the initial reviews to come out. But even then, like I guarantee you, like I feel like I'll have to look for legit reviews and not like, no, you guys are crazy. This game's amazing, as opposed to, hey, look, just so you know, this story sucks.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the 12th is tomorrow. So reviews are coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
They're hitting 1 week before launch. So we'll see. We'll see tomorrow what it's like. Tomorrow for us, not for you people, because, you know, that's how this rolls.
Yeah. You'll already have read the reviews by the time this comes out.
Yes. You'll be like, guys, what the hell are you talking about? Reviews were 10 days ago.
Unless you get this out this weekend, no pressure.
I'm going to get this out. I'm going to get this out because this is a hot topic. This needs to be
That's right. That's right. Yeah. We need some hits, some views.
Damn right. Because the Predator's faulting hard.
Yeah.
It puts us in a shitty situation where we love old movies, but people don't want to listen to us talk about old movies.
Yeah, but you know what? So we have a couple of low hits. Meh.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see what Ninja Turtles does, actually. I'm very intrigued by that one.
Yeah. Me too.
I was thinking about it too, and I think part of it has to do with the COVID-19 camcasts. I think that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
COVID
different. Yeah, it's different when we're like talking to each other this way as opposed to like shoulder to shoulder type of thing.
Oh, so I should really be turning this way during these videos, or no? Here we go. That's right. It's mirrored, and then you turn.
So I would turn.
Oh, wrong way.
This way.
Wrong.
I thought so.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. All right. And hey, Chris, how you doing?
This is dumb. I'm not doing this.
Come on, you couldn't even.
No,
continue it for a moment.
I couldn't. You know, it was bad enough in fucking like Predator 1 when we're doing that. Dylan, you son of a bitch! With your like terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
Did anyone really do a terrible Arnold impersonation? I mean,
yeah, you were doing a terrible. I do a terrible one, but you were doing a terrible one as well. So,
well, look, come on, you gotta give me some Arnie now.
Get to the chopper.
That wasn't bad. That's pretty good.
It's still not that great. I mean, yes, it's better than yours, but
yeah, okay.
But that's like being the tallest midget. You're still a midget, okay?
So PS5 overall, let's see here. What's your top 5 games of the show?
Oh, I put the list away.
Okay, well, they're probably going to be the same
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I also...
Okay, I'm going Spider-Man.
Stood out. Returnal.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So
Kana.
Yeah.
Destruction AllStars.
Yeah.
And I would have to say, actually, well, it would be a close tie. Destruction AllStars, Little Devil Inside. Those are tied. And then Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, I'm going
and Horizon Dawn 2. Maybe I have more than top 5. I have like a bunch of games I want to check out. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, okay. So I go Miles Morales, Project Athia.
Yep.
Kena, whatever it's called. Resident Evil 8.
Yep.
And probably Destruction All-Stars. That'd be my 5.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then I would add Little Devil Inside. It just looked like a lot of fun. It looked really cool. I don't know. I mean, it might be a terrible game, but it looked great. It looked absolutely great.
It was a great looking piece of poo.
It's a great looking game that could probably be released right now on the PS4.
There it is. Like 75% of the games that were shown.
I would say probably closer to 80.
81?
80. We'll leave it at 80. Round numbers.
Round numbers. All right. So that is the PS5 Reveal Camcast. Let us know what you thought of the show, the reveal, what your favorite games are. If you think the PlayStation 5 is as ugly as I think it is, do you think the controller will fit in Chris's hands? There's so many questions.
Or is it possible that the PS5 is just not for everybody in terms of visuals?
It's also possible. I put a bag over it, but it would overheat.
Some people look at you and think, nope, I will not have sex with that person. But your wife says she would.
Well, that's fine.
It's all subjective.
That's fine. They could think that. You know, that's freedom.
That's right.
They're wrong.
I only picked you out because everybody wants to sleep with me. That's all. That's the only reason why I said you.
I don't know. Women like to, they like fuzzy teddy bears, and I'm pretty fuzzy.
That is true. That is true.
Unless they got a thing for
That's
centaurs.
very true. On both accounts.
They got a thing for centaurs. They'll be all over you.
Then I'm in. I'm in.
You're in, buddy.
Yeah.
So, where can you find us?
I believe we can be found on a website called geekpantsmedia.com. That's one place we can be found.
Dang.
We can be found on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. We can also be heard, but heard on the Google Podcast and the Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Oh, I did a pen flip. Woo!
Oh, yeah. Brilliant.
So, yeah, not only did I possibly nail the intro, but I definitely nailed the outro.
Definitely. Take it away, Sackboy.
Okay. All right. Perfect.